Good morning or good afternoon, YouTube. So, in today's video, I would like to talk about the third Twilight installment, Eclipse. So, we know the Cullens are back. If you haven't seen my second video, it's up here. Go click up here to watch it. If you haven't watched it, pause this video and click over to watch that. If you have, then hello, people. So, Bella and Edward are in the meadow because apparently Bella is grounded even though she's 18, which is weird. She's grounded for putting Charlie through all that she put him through with the crying and screaming and the waking up and stuff. I mean, she went to Italy. So, yeah. Apparently she's reading Romeo and Juliet, which she's a senior, guys. She's reading Romeo and Juliet, and she has to be back home at 4 o'clock, I guess. Yeah, she has to be home at 4 o'clock. And Edward is persistent on asking her to marry him, which she says no to. So she gets back home at literally 4 o'clock, and Charlie is sitting on the couch reading a newspaper. And he tells her that she's still grounded, but he extends the rules a little bit. He tells her that she's not grounded if she uses her newfound freedom to visit some of her other friends, like Jacob, even though Jacob doesn't want to talk to her because she's with Edward and she wants to be a vampire. But he doesn't know that. But still. And then we cut to the school scene where Edward is dropping Bella off at school. Or he meets her there. I don't know. I forgot what happened. I don't know. But anyways, Jacob is waiting to see her. And he has a dream catcher. Which doesn't work, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, they go to class and the teacher asks Edward to... The teacher watches the black and white version of Romeo and Juliet? No. Jackson? I don't know. Anyway, so at the end of class, they go to lunch and Alice suggests to have another party, which was a mess up the last time they had a party, leading Jasper to essentially attack Bella. But what if he didn't mean to attack her? But yeah, no. I wanted him not to attack her, but no. What I want does not matter. Thank you, Stephanie Meyer. Although, by the way, I'm not trying to bash Stephanie Meyer at all. I love Stephanie Meyer because I love the Twilight books. But anyway, let's continue with the video. So, they have a graduation party. Well, Bella and Edward and Jasper and Alice finally graduate, which is weird because Jasper is supposed to be like 19. Shouldn't he have graduated already? But whatever. Yeah, so they have a graduation party and Alice has a vision of the newborn army, which she does not recognize the faces of all the newborns. But for some reason, Bella suggests Victoria. And Alice is like, no, it's not her, and I should have seen her decide. And Edward comes in, what if it's the Volturi? And Alice says that she's checking Earl's decisions as well, and it's not the Volturi, and yeah. So they come up with a plan to essentially kill the newborn army, which they don't know Victoria's behind it because he's hiding behind the person that's leading it. And Edward and Jasper and Carlisle and Esme and Rosalie and Emmett ask essentially all the Cullens. My bad, I didn't mean to name all of them, but yeah. They asked the wolves for help, and Jacob did not. Oh, wait. Sorry, guys. Little technical difficulties. Jacob is all for helping the Cullens destroy the newborn army if they're after Bella. He likes Bella. Embry and Quill are there too, and yeah. So, I'm getting way too ahead of myself. But, so before all that happens, she skips school to go see Jacob and the rest of the pack. And Leah's there, and she doesn't like anybody because of Sam, and she's the only girl werewolf, so yeah. So they go talking about imprinting, and she asks Jacob, and like he hasn't imprinted on anybody. The only people that imprinted are essentially Sam, Paul, and somebody else. I don't know. I think Jared did. I don't know. But they go to the garage, and Jacob parks his bike, and they start talking, and graduation comes up in the conversation, and Bella becomes a vampire at the end of graduation, and Jacob doesn't like it, and he throws a tantrum and throws something against the wall, and is mad at Bella when he shouldn't be. He should be mad at Edward for his decision, but whatever. Bella decides to tell him that she decided this, not him, and they get into a whole argument, and Bella starts like getting sad and everything. So yeah, that's messed up. Cut to the night. Well, now Bella goes home, and she hears a knock at the door, and Edward's there, and he pushes her out the way because he smells a scent that he does not recognize. And he goes upstairs and checks her room, and then they all go to his house. And what do you know? Alice decides that it's not Victoria or the Volturi that are after her, which it is Victoria. Jasper and Emmett, I think, come back in the house and says the scent left Bella's house 5 miles south. And he's letting his southern accent through, which I am all for. Anyway, so she goes to see Jacob again, and Jacob decides to have a walk with her, and he decides to kiss her, which does not sit right with me. And she punches him and breaks her fist. Because for some reason, he has a hard jaw. I don't know. Anyway, so she goes home to see Carlisle, and he decides it's just a sprain, and yeah. Then when Bella goes home, Edward's there in his car, and Jacob's there, and Edward and Jacob hate each other still, which is natural because there's more enemies. What else? Oh, she, Jacob explains to Charlie what happened to Bella, and then Charlie does not like it whatsoever. So that's when they go to the house, and Carlisle puts some gauze on it and decides it's just a sprain. And then Emmett comes in and he jokes about her becoming a newborn, and Rosalie does not like it. Rosalie goes out to the balcony and Bella follows her after, and Rosalie tells her story of becoming a vampire, which is upsetting. So apparently in Rosalie's story, she was raped and beaten by her fiance, Royce King, and she was left in the street to die, and she wanted to, and that didn't quite happen. Because Carlisle saved her, and she didn't want this life. She wanted to have kids and a house and a husband, and surrounded by her grandchildren. Yeah, Rosalie's messed up. But I'm getting like far too ahead of myself. So Rosalie and Bella become sort of friends, I think. You'll see in my last reaction. You'll see in my last rant anyway. What happened? Oh, wait. Dang it, I lost it. They, figure out a plan to destroy the newborns. They talk about who's behind the newborn army, and Bella thinks it's Victoria, and Edward thinks it's the Volturi, which is bad altogether if it's all four of them. But it's not the Volturi. Dang it, what happened? I'm sorry, I'm just naturally goofy, guys. I'm sorry for making funny faces. I'm trying to decide what happened next after that. I forgot. I haven't watched Eclipse in a while, so yeah. They, at the graduation party that they had, they tell Jacob and the other wolves the plan to destroy the newborn army, and Jasper is actually in charge because he knows how to destroy the newborns. And Carlisle asks Jacob if Sam would be okay with fighting newborns, and Jacob comes back and says, "This is what we do, we kill vampires," and yeah. So they come up with a plan, they come to the battlefield, and they decide to have Jacob carry Bella to the campsite because they can't. If Edward carries Bella to the campsite, they'll smell his scent or hers. I don't know. They train, and Jasper's at the forefront teaching them. And by the time Bella and Edward get to the training field, which is in the woods by their house, I think. I'm not sure. They train, and Jasper teaches the wolves and the rest of the Cullens how to destroy newborns. Technically, Jasper and Rosalie aren't Cullens. Jasper isn't even a Hale. But, yeah. Oh, what happened? Oh. Alice decides to ask Charlie if it's okay if Bella comes to her house for a sleepover, which they're not really having a sleepover, and Alice and the rest of the Cullens are going hunting. And she has the house to Edward, which she's happy with. So, yeah, that's like half the movie. The other half is Bella goes to Edward's house, and he opens the door, and he's like, "What are you doing outside?" And he asks her, and she comes in the house, and the house is empty except for him. They go upstairs, and Edward sees the bracelet that Jacob made for her. I think he made it. I'm not sure. I think he made it. And he's pissed because she has a gift from Jacob and not him. And they go upstairs, and Bella sees a bed, and Edward's like, "I thought you might need one to sleep in." And Bella's like, "An air mattress would suffice the situation." And they sit on the bed, and she has a whole discussion with Edward about changing her, and yeah. They still train, and Edward gives her a heart bracelet and puts it on her. I think it's a heart bracelet. I'm not sure. And they still train, and they're getting better, which is weird. Well, considering who's training them, I don't expect anything different. And then Jasper tells Bella, and then Bella is on top of Emmett's Jeep, I think. And Bella stops him from walking, and she asks all these questions, like, how can she help? Jasper's like, "You're sent alone, will distract the newborns." And yeah, Jasper tells Bella his story about being in the Southern Vampire Wars and Maria and everything. So this is why I like Jasper. This is why Jasper is my favorite character in the Twilight series. So yeah, Jasper tells her about Maria and Lucy and Nettie and all that stuff. How he was the youngest major in the Texas Cavalry, and how Maria manipulated him to do all her dirty work. And yeah, that's where the story ends, and she turns him into a vampire, and that's where the story ends. And he didn't go into detail about how he met Peter and Charlotte, which in the books, I think he did. I'm sorry, guys, I haven't read the books either. I haven't read the books in a while either. So, yeah. I only have the Eclipse book, I think. Yeah. Anyway. Sorry, my head was itching. Sorry. At the end of his story, she's like, "I'm glad I can help. I'm thankful you told me your story, even though it was hard for you." And then Alice comes in and is like, "You never have to be that again." And then they kiss, they smoosh, and yeah. So Bella sees Jacob's wolf, and she goes to pet him, and Edward's still pissed. And Edward's like, "We're done for the day," and they go home, and everything is chaotic, and yeah. What else happened? Oh, Edward finally asks Bella to marry. He finally does the right thing and gets down on one knee with a ring, which should have did in the first place, and asks her to marry him, and she says yes. and everything, and then they decide to hide together because it's dangerous for them to be apart. Obviously, if you watch my second rant video, you'll see up here what I mean. And again, if you're new here, subscribe and turn on your post notification bell and press like if you like this video. If you don't, then oh well, whatever. I don't care. I'm making these so fun. I don't care. And I have one more movie to do. Which I'm splitting the last rant into 2 videos because that's what they did in the book. But whatever. What else happened? Oh, they decide to have Jacob carry Bella to the campsite because his stench is revolting to the vampires. And yeah. So we cut to the newborn scene, which is my favorite scene in the whole movie, besides Jasper telling Bella his story and training the Cullens and everything, and yeah. So we see her freezing to death, literally. And then Jacob comes into the tent and offers to warm her up, and then Edward doesn't like it, and Jacob goes to warm her up, and then Edward and Jacob go back and forth about. Jacob asks Edward how did he cope with almost losing Bella when he thought he lost Bella, and Edward's like, there's no words. And then he's like, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. I wouldn't wish death on anyone. Jacob was like, what did he say? What else did he say? And yeah. What else? Oh, Jacob was like, I barely get under that ice cold skin, which he means reading his mind, and Jacob doesn't like that, I guess. I don't know. They go home. Well, in the morning, Bella wakes up to nobody in the tent. And she comes out the tent and she sees Seth. And she's like, hey, Seth. We actually like Seth. Well, I do. I don't know about you guys, but I love Seth. Seth is like a little brother. Even though he is little. He's only 15. Yeah. They decide to tell Jacob that they're getting married, and Jacob's pissed. And then Bella goes after Jacob, and Edward tries to stop her, and she gets pissed. And she follows Jacob, and she asks Jacob to kiss her. And then Jacob's thoughts are a little loud. Apparently, according to Edward, his thoughts are really loud, and yeah. Then when they get done, she goes back down the mountain, and she sees Edward standing there doing nothing, and he looks like, I don't know what Edward looks like, but yeah, I forgot what Edward looked like in that scene, but yeah. Apparently they need Seth to keep tabs on the battle. And Victoria found them, and she wasn't alone. She had a dude named Riley. And Riley's destroyed thanks to Seth, and Victoria's destroyed thanks to Edward, and yeah. They come down the mountain where the campsite was, and they see the Volturi, they see Jane, Alec, Dimitri, and Felix, which are the 4 guards, and thanks to Dimitri, he's a tracker. So they follow Dimitri to Forks to see the Cullens. And Jane, I don't like Jane. Or Alec, for that matter. Well, I kind of like Alec. I don't know. But anyways, Alec was like, we missed the entertaining fight. And Jane was like, well, the Cullens said if you arrived a few minutes earlier, you would have, your service would have been appreciated to help destroy Victoria and the newborns, or like I think they knew what was going on, and they didn't put a stop to it, which is weird for them. I don't know. Anyway, so Jane decides that they missed one, and Carlisle's like, she offers her silence for not to be destroyed. So if you wouldn't destroy her, it would be appreciated, because we already accepted her in the family, or like adopted her or something. Jasper stands next to Bree, and he uses his mood trick, I think, on Jane, and Jane does not like that, and she uses her pain power on Bree, which is the newborn's name. Which is the newborn's name. Her name is Bree, and yeah, she tells Felix to kill her, and Esme was like, she didn't know what she was doing, and Jane asks Bree what was she doing here, and who created her. She doesn't know until Jane uses her pain power, and she says it was Riley, and he says her thoughts weren't safe, and then Edward corrects her and said her name was Victoria, and Carlisle was like, if the Volturi had knowledge of Victoria, they would have put a stop to her. And that's when Jasper uses his mood power on Jane and tries to change her mood, and it doesn't work, which I really wanted it to. And then Felix finally destroys Bree, and then they go home and have a happily ever after until breaking dawn. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Again, I know I said this like 30 times, but if you missed the last video, it's up in the box up there. Click up there to watch it. If you have, great. If you have not, go watch it. And if you're new here, please subscribe and hit that post notification bell. And give me a like if you like this video. Bye bye.